So, I guess get started with the Hi
Hi,
Ray.
Ray. Welcome in.
Yeah. So, to
Mm-hmm.
kind of get started, there are 5 worlds slash kind of like universes.
Okay.
There are the first is of the cherubs. There's only 2 of them in the world of Homestuck. Of course, there's
Good.
multiple going ons, but every cherub comes in pairs basically,
Mm.
and there's a lot of like good versus evil, male female twins basically fighting against each other and all that. I mean that's fair. um but yeah, the cherub world comes in later in the game and basically connects to the main 2 universes, Earth and Eternia, the
Okay.
trolls basically,
Okay.
and the other 2 universes, which is post Scratch Earth and Before Us.
Okay.
Before Us and Alternia are the Troll worlds, and obviously pre Scratch and post Scratch are the 2 Earths. And
Okay.
kind of like in terms of general loose timeline, is Cherub World, uh, Before Us, Alternia, pre Scratch Earth, and post scratch. Of course, there's a lot of time shenanigans and everything else that get played and all that,
Mm-hmm.
but the main villain of the cherubs primarily interacts with the pre-scratch and troll universe, while the um, kind of good cherub interacts primarily with before us and post scratch. Of course, they interact with both, but
Mm.
general rundown. Um,
I don't know what you're talking about. Me jealous as if I'm not jealous. Yes, I'm
anyways,
focusing on everything while eating ice cream and trying to figure out why it tastes like peanut butter.
so the basically how it worked was the each time a new universe is created, it's created based off of a game that is revealed from that's what revealed very early on in the comic, and basically each world creates the future universes basically. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of how it loosely works. Before us created Eternia. Eternia created the pre-scratch Earth. Pre-scratch Earth created post-scratch Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and again shenanigans, yada yada yada.
Okay.
And basically, the two troll universes are very very similar to each other, with some alternatives, along with the 2 Earth universes are kind of similar to each other with some like gender swap and everything else.
Okay.
And as much as I would totally want to repeat myself, this is supposedly being recorded, so you can
Yes,
obviously.
it is. I made sure it is. I see the button. It
Yeah.
says stop recording.
Yeah. So,
Don't worry, Dinah. There will be a test. Not for
so
you.
yeah, basically, the troll society is kind of based loosely off of the 12 uh God, what's the zodiac sign? So there's a lot
Okay.
of inspiration there. There is there's also 2 moons. They're basically night dwellers. They only can go out at night and can't go out in the day because the sun basically burns them.
Mm-hmm.
And they they have 12 blood castes. Rust signs or red bloods are the lowest class, shortest lifespan, but they're the most populated of that. They basically do the grunt work, basically pilots that are basically doomed to die, the janitorial work, sports players, like basically anything that people might not generally do day to day.
Okay.
Bronze Bronze Bloods slightly longer lifespans, but still kind of bottom of the class. They have some psychic abilities primarily associated with animals. So they tend to be farmers, animal workers, and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Gold Bloods are what I'm
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
I kind of like going through my notes. So Gold Bloods are the third lowest class. Again, slightly longer lifespan, but they can sometimes have even shorter lifespans than Rust Bloods. They have psionic abilities. Those that are the most powerful psionics tend to power the trolls' ships, and basically anything with psychic abilities you can usually find with them. And there are some gold bloods actually need to absorb the power of other gold bloods because they basically psionic abilities and stuff.
Hmm.
Lime bloods are, if I remember correctly, the actually no, I have to remember. Yeah, Lime bloods were primarily wiped out from before us because of universe stuff. So there not much is known about lime bloods. And next is olive signs. So lime, olive, and jade bloods are kind of like the lower middle class. All the bloods are
Okay.
kind of like the warriors. They're very very physically strong. They tend to be out in nature sometimes. Tend to get in fights quite a little bit. They're kind of like one of the outsiders.
Hmm.
Jade signs are as far as we've seen only female, and they tend to be segregated from the rest of society because they tend to take care of the mother grub, which is kind of like the main thing that produces more of the trolls.
Okay.
And they're the only ones that actually can become vampires and also known as daydwellers.
Okay.
So basically bloodsuckers.
I
or
feel like I need a notebook for this.
this is not so, this
But
is not something that you necessarily need to take a notebook for. This is basically a summary which, if you ever read the comic or ever play any of the games, you'll kind of get a general sense for. But yeah, generally, caretakers can become vampires, take care of the mother grub. That only female. That's basically. And
okay.
now the teal signs is the start of the upper middle class. They tend to be the people associated with librarians, uh, uh, prosecutors, defenders, also known as legislators, basically anything to do with the law, pretty much, and
Okay.
like taking the law in their own hands.
Okay.
Blue signs are the kind of like one of the first classes that are kind of just like no, like quote unquote like no noble class. They're like very knowledgeable. They tend to just be in charge of stuff, in charge of companies, and like
Hmm.
like they tend to like maybe like, oh yeah, I am a brawler and stuff. Like it's more of like, hey, we're in charge, but we don't really do too much in terms of stuff. Sometimes they're librarians, knowledge seekers, that kind of thing. And finally, the indigo signs, kind of similar. Are like they have, of course, some longer lifespans. Archery, um, why boxers, and other kind of like general stuff. That keep in mind, the lower the class, the lower lifespan, but the more of them are. The higher the class, the longer they live, but less than there are. So like indigo
Hmm.
signs, you're not really seeing too much of what they do based off the story and other things. So it's like kind of hard to say what they do.
Okay.
Um, Purple signs are the first of the like true upper class. They are the clown class basically. They basically are like they're quite literally they're clowns. They've are the worship like the worship class basically. So they're basically the one like the right hand of the true leader of the of the rule of the true right hand of the ruler. They implement the law. They implement the law that the fuchsia bloods live. They anything with religion they do that. That's basically it. Like religion, follow, and right hand. The
Okay.
violet signs are the half land, half fish people, and again, you don't really see too much of them, but they're basically like the few people that are kind of like the step between purple bloods and fuchsia bloods, where they traverse between land and water, pretty much. And
Okay.
they kind of have like the pretentious attitude of having kind of like the upper class, but again, very few since they're the second highest blood that exists. So,
Mhm.
not much is known too much about them.
Okay.
And the final blood class is the fuchsia sign or the fuchsia blood class, which there's only ever two that exist at a time. They are primarily aquatic based, and they have a special Loomis, which is basically like their animal caretaker. That
Okay.
is a giant squid. Again, not too important, but like a little bit important because crazy stuff. Um, but the main thing that's important about the fuchsia bloods, the rule of the planets, and the older one is out conquering the universe, and the younger one is on the planets, learning how to basically become the next ruler and then eventually challenge it, unless they die trying.
Hmm. Okay.
And the interesting thing about the in Homestuck lore is that the older before us ruler actually interacts with the post Scratch Earth and is actually ruling post Scratch Earth, which is kind of like an interesting little twist.
Mhm.
And again, I'm not going to go too much into details, spoils, blah 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 blah, but kind of
Okay.
like an interest. It's either the it's either before us ruler or the Eternia's ruler taking over the um, post Scratch. I forget which one, but I'm pretty sure it's the before us ruler. And the Eternia one is the one trying to defend Earth against her and all that. So kind of
Okay.
interesting twist to
Yeah.
that. And let's see. Let's see here. So they actually have two moons. Uh, well, yeah, they have two moons, which kind of also plays in the parts of the game as well. Which technically, in the game for the Earths as well, once they go into the game, they also interact with the two moons,
Mhm.
which comes into play later.
Okay.
Eh. And there's also 12 like god classes, which uh, interact with different things from time, space, heart, mind, hope, rage, light, void, breath, blood, life, and doom. So
Okay.
each thing and there's each of them also has a unique interaction depending on your zodiac signs, zodiac sign slash blood class, and the moon sway. So like there's also like active versus passive as well, which if you're an active one you tend to go after it and take things, while the passive tends to be like a supporting class.
Okay.
And let's see here. So let's see here. So the interesting thing that you kind of learn early on with the attorney it, with the video game that all of the characters play, it's basically it needs to complete a full loop. So there is a player and then the person that kind of like brings you in. and then the
Mhm.
person that you're supporting. So for the Earth people, the John, the main character, interacts with basically it's like Rose. Rose then supports Dave. Dave then supports Jade. Jade then supports John, and
Mm.
so on and so forth. And the same thing happens with the trolls, except they're divided into two groups of six, and then one person from each of the six groups unintentionally interacts with the other group. So basically, nearly full complete loop for both of the six, but then there's the interaction of receiving and giving, one receiving and one giving to the other side as well. Which kind of goes into callback to the cherubs who only have two and they have to interact with each other. And yeah, that's kind of like a general, like, kind of like interaction of the of like the general lore and stuff. Like, of course, I'm not going to go into all the different kind of like tidbits of like, oh, these four people were everything else and then interact with. It's complicated. There's like several thousand comic pages that goes into that. But one of the things that actually gets talked about in the Troll Society is that, again, it's not really that important. It just gets repeatedly talked about, which I think is kind of interesting. And I'm like, hey, it's kind of funny.
Mhm.
Is their pale and plush romances. So they have quadrants instead of like romance in our society. So while we only have like one square, they have four. And then another group of people technically have a square of nine, but like they're not that important.
Mm.
So with trolls, they have um pale relationships and then flush relationships. Pale relationships are basically like friendship, friendliness, and all that. Or flush relationships are kind of like romance and like sexual tension and stuff. And red romance is the kind of the positive outlook on society, while the um, black romance tends to be like the negative side of things. And the so pitch and ashen is technically red and black, but red it's kind of easier to say like that.
Okay.
Um, the mate sprite, symbolized by love or our earthen society of love, represented by a heart, is a flush or like a flush relationship of red romance, while the more allegiance is represented by a diamond and is the pale uh, pale pitch, so positive good emotion. It's kind of like it's like true friendship, like BFF, soulmate forever kind of thing. The Kismesis, represented by a spade, is representative of true rivalry, which is the ashen flush black, like black one, so kind of opposite of the heart. And then the final one is the club, is the um, pale version of the diamonds, called the auspicism, which is kind of like one person managing the relationship between two other people, kind of making sure they don't get out of hand.
Mhm.
And yeah, that there's a lot of ways that it kind of gets interacted and triggered in the story as well.
Okay.
And really, the only necessary uh, two in Troll Society is the uh, mate sprites and kismeses, who, of course, like I said, are the sexual tension, how they basically reproduce for the most part.
Mm.
So, do you have any questions? I feel like there's a lot of things going in your
My
head.
my brain is, well, what is in there is kind of just split in two, and I feel like I just have the dumbest look on my face, even though I'm not able to make said dumbest look. Of just eyes split apart, just like, ugh.
Yeah,
Brett, lost, help.
yeah. I get it. Like a lot of information to take in, and of course, I'm not even getting into the nitty gritty of
Oh
the
god.
story itself. But like, I
Okay.
that's that. I'm just giving a watered down version of Homestuck
Yeah.
of like general interactions and stuff. So feel free to also open up the quiz, which kind of goes into the troll society and everything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and you
Where?
like obviously
Which
this
one
is
was it?
like the link I sent you in your
No,
DMs.
no, no. I know that. I'm trying to think. Which scene was it? Oh no.
Uh,
Oh no. This one? No, not that one. That one? That one. Found it.
yeah. So hey,
Uh. Well, guys, hope. Yeah. No, really. Sorry. I took you to my empty head.
yeah,
Good job. You got a good look inside there.
yeah,
Quite dark, isn't it?
yeah. So the main thing is the very first question that you'll be asked is what's your zodiac sign.
Uh oh.
I kind of so like this is
Uh
something that you can either truthfully answer or not truthfully answer depending on
I
what you want to
know.
answer.
I know my real one. I just don't remember what it looks
No,
like.
I haven't pulled up the dates. So like
Thank you.
so like it.
Yeah. Why
Okay,
is
so
there
the
so
reason
many?
that there's so many signs is that one, there is 12 blood classes. Two, there's two moons, and then then
Oh.
there's 12 um zodiac signs basically. So basically it's 12 by 12 by 2, which
Okay.
is 144 288, I believe.
Bless you.
So basically, yeah, so there's um 12 zodiac signs for each of the 12 for each of the 12 zodiac signs, 12 for each of the different uh blood classes, and then 2 for each moon. Yes,
Okay.
the obviously there's in lore there's supposedly a lot more, but like this basically like you're in the universe you don't see all 288. So
Okay.
I think in the actual thing you only see 28, and plus the fan game you see an additional like 12 or so. So and I got mine. I did this test forever ago, um, which is pretty fun.
No bush sign. No bush sign, Dinah. No. Stop it. I'm. I. Bleh. Brain. Work, please.
So yeah, I can. So yeah,
Anything
just
in there?
press the begin button at the bottom once you're
Okay.
ready.
Oh, I just hit that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So funny enough, the fun thing about this image at the top of the page that actually represents the each of the 12 sign classes that are
Oh.
shown in Alternia.
Okay.
So
Those are
fun.
just like the normal ones.
No,
Oh.
those are the ones that were shown in universe to us at the very beginning, pretty much.
Okay.
Which, fun fact about Eternia and Before Us, it's supposed to represent before and after.
Okay. Dark
But yeah,
update. Reboot the computer
um,
to update the version. Negative one.
yeah. So
Pre-dial up noise.
yeah, Aries the Ram is from March 21st to April 19th.
Oh, it
Taurus the
has
Bull
names.
is
I got mine
yeah
already. Boink.
yeah
But you can go ahead and keep naming them if you
yeah.
want.
I was just gonna let tell chat now. So
Yeah.
April 20th to May 20th. Gemini the Twins is May 21st to June 21st. Cancer the Crab is June 22nd to July 22nd. Leo the Lion is July 23rd to August 22nd. Virgo the Virgin is August 23rd to September 22nd. Libra the Balance is September 23rd to October 23rd. Scorpio the Scorpion is October 24th to November 21st. Sagittarius the Archer is November 22nd to December 21st. Capricorn the Goat is December 22nd to January 19th. Aquarius, the water barrier, is January 20th to February 18th. And finally, Pisces, the fish, is February 19th to March 20th.
Okay. Now you're just giving out my birthday for free, almost.
Well, like, if anyone knows the zodiac signs, they're gonna know.
Yeah. How it's called the fish sign.
Because Pisces is the two fishes swimming against each other.
Ah.
So, so you are actually the highest blood class, Dinah. If you're the Pisces.
Okay. Here
Yeah,
we
but yeah,
go.
that gives you tells you a little bit more about the Teal class if you.
Please don't kill me. I'm still recovering, dang it. Oh. But I am a Libra. Because, yes, there's balance in everything, except in the dark. Continue taking tests. Social and You see, there's something wrong with this already. I'm neither
I mean,
social or flirtatious.
but the thing is, it's business partners and collaborators. You are a Twitch/YouTube streamer, which
Yes.
means you are a collaborator. So.
Yes. They don't shrink from utilizing their what many charms? What many?
I mean, you do
Hello?
have multiple charms.
I don't believe that. Now you're just speaking in lies. Okay, the strong sense of right and wrong, yes.
Yeah. Again, this is kind of like the overarching kind of like sense theme. Once you do more of the tests, you obviously get a more honed in thing.
Okay. Prospit endures. Oh god. Ew. Oh no.
Yes.
This is feeling like Mystery Dungeon all over again.
Yes, it's
Oh
kind
god.
of like
Oh no. Nah.
Yeah, I was actually a lunar sway myself, by Prospis, so the yellow moon.
Hang on. I gotta go find that shiny real quick. Hang on. I mean, honestly, my zodiac sign shouldn't be close. I'm half tempted to just go pull up the friggin' Mystery Dungeon music now for this test.
I mean, you certainly could.
I could. That would make it a little funnier, I think. Hold on, we're doing that. We're gonna do that real quick, guys. Give me... I gotta find it. Got you in VR. Why? No! No! Stop looking at me! No! No, 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 no!
The funny thing with Dinah is I never actually said what sign class I was.
Opening that. Which... That one. Alright, I'm going to pause the
Yeah.
song.
Which, a funny thing to calculate your troll age, because their troll age is a little bit different from the actual human age. It's about um 12 times your current age plus the number of months since it's been your birthday divided by 26.
Everyone watching say, hey, no, hi, no. Why is everyone watching me? This is a mistake. Get me off the big screen. No, I don't belong here. And now I'm just gonna embarrass myself in front of 1,000 people. Oh, heavens and hellfires inferno, kill
I
me
mean,
now.
like, roughly speaking, it's about... Troll age is about half whatever your current age is, but, like, again, it's a little bit more finicky than that.
The spelling is hurting me. Reflex?
Wait,
Reflex?
give me a second. Wait. Uh.
It hurts.
I'm, wait.
Oh,
Where?
it's right underneath the word true sign in the top.
Oh.
Reflex.
I again. I think that's just a
It
spelling
hurts.
mistake.
I know it is. It hurts though. I'm not a grammar person, but that hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reflex.
It's supposed to be reflex.
I know, but still. Anyone got 25k? No. No.
Yeah, so some
I
people
mean,
on the
yes, but
internet,
no.
are negatively discussing something you hold dear. You could let it slide, or you could get in there and defend it with your life. How do you respond? A. I leave it alone. I'll rejoin the conversation when the topic is passed. B. I'll stay out of it for the most part, except possibly to correct some factual errors I might notice, which could be negatively influencing their view of the thing I like. C. I'll chime in with my opinion, stating that I like the thing, but I won't really argue about it, to each their own. D. I jump in and defend the thing, stating why I like it and why their criticism is wrong, but I won't take it too far. E. I will die on the hill for the things I like. I love to argue in their defense. That's part of the fun of having a passion for things.
Um. Uh. Definitely is gonna be C. Cause, like, I have my opinion, but at the same time, I'm just like, whatever. I genuinely don't care. You guys have your own. To each their own. I'm not gonna sit here and argue, though.
Yeah. So, you're all set to cook dinner when you realize you're missing a couple key ingredients from the recipe you're using. What do? A. Toss out the recipe and completely wing it. B. Find a different recipe that you have all the ingredients for. C. Depends on what I'm cooking. If it's something I made before, etc. D. Follow the recipe but make a couple substitutions. Use as a guideline. E. Go to the store and get the ingredients you're missing. What's the point of having a recipe if you don't follow it?
Hey, I'm gonna eat it no matter what. Even if it's bad, I'll still eat it. I don't care. It's edible. As long as I'm not laying on the ground, convulsing, foaming at the mouth, it's edible.
Nice thing is, there's only 8 questions, so.
Oh, it looks so much bigger than it.
Because there's
Shut
5
up.
options for each.
Shut up. Shut up. I realized what I was gonna say. Shut up.
Wait, what?
Nothing. Nothing. Don't worry about
What?
it.
No, what are you gonna say?
No, nothing.
No.
Continue.
How do you feel meeting online friends in person for the first time? I mean, that's what we're planning at some point in the future. So, option A, only excited. We only know and like each other. Nothing to worry about. B, quite positive. Things are probably gonna go fine. C, good. You'll see how things go. Hard to say until you met someone. D, bit nervous. You like them, are looking forward to a bit in theory, but can't shake the sense of social apprehension anytime you meet someone new. E, anxious. Even though you've gone along online, you can't help but worry how it'll go in person.
Well, having done this once before already, so having actual past experience on the whole thing, because if I didn't have past experience, I would say A. But with the past experience, it's now more of a, E.
So,
Yeah. Fine,
question.
use the scroller. There.
Question 4. You're having a hard time grasping a topic in class that everyone else seems to be fine with you. A. Raise your hand immediately to strain things out. You probably just misheard or tuned out for a few minutes. B. Lean over and ask a friend. They'd probably be happy to explain it to you. C. Email the professor or attend their office hours. No point in interrupting the class. D. Do research on your own. You're more than capable of figuring it out. E. Do some things and summarize that the class and the professor are wrong about the topic. You still memorize the answers for the test, though.
Where's the option to wing it? That is me. That was me in school. Not understanding a thing and just being like, I got this, and somehow still passed the test.
I feel like that's probably D or E.
But I didn't do any studying is the thing. I literally just like I'm winging this and did it. And I'm like, huh?
I mean, I feel like that's D. Do the research on your own if you feel like, and you're more than capable of figuring out on your own.
Okay. I mean, I never figured it out. Hell, I forgot
Yeah,
majors.
again, D or E.
How people can test without working? Don't worry about it. There's not a brain in there, but I'm it. There's something, and it works. That's all that matters.
So wait, which one did you choose out of curiosity?
D.
Okay. Question 5. You start taking lessons to learn something you want to learn for a while. A language class, art class, bartending lessons, etc. But a few weeks in, you learn that it definitely isn't your thing. Decide to stick it out though. Why? A. You never know, might grow on you. B. You spent money and time on this already. You're going to finish it. C. It's already on your schedule for the next couple weeks and you don't want to move stuff around. D. You aren't a quitter. If you dedicate yourself to something, you're going to do it. Doesn't matter how hard it is. E. If you stop, it means that you didn't like this thing as much as you thought you did, which means you didn't know yourself the way you thought you did, which is unacceptable.
Thinking. I need to put myself into those shoes for a minute. Went to college. Decided to do something for maybe some acting or something. To suddenly realize, oh no, I don't like this.
I'm a theater kid at heart, if you couldn't tell.
I mean, I am too. I'm just doing a hypothetical thing. I love theater and all that. Just, I went in there. Suddenly, it's like, I hate this. Like, I hate the mask. Stop it. No. Uh. Uh. Honestly, though, if it was something I didn't like, it'd be on the schedule. I'm lazy. I don't want to move things around.
Yeah, I am the same way.
I'm lazy. I'm lazy, but at the same time, it's like I'm not that lazy. But that
like you want to do the like you don't want to go do the thing anymore, but like you don't want to
but then
cancel.
I mean to have to do the other thing that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I think I'd rather do the one thing I don't like doing because that other thing is much worse, and we don't talk about the other thing.
Yeah.
And don't worry, guys, you'll never hear about the other thing. I promise.
I feel like we'll hear about it at some point.
Shh. I'm lazy, but not that.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's me at work. Like everyone, we have this new thing that we scan to get into the computers, and it's like, oh, just type in your 4 or 6-digit PIN, and I'm just like, I'd rather type in my whole number and password than do that. I'm lazy, but I'm not that lazy.
Anyways, number 6. When you're on holiday, do you prefer to leave your itinerary mostly up to chance, or do you plan it out ahead of time? A. No planning. It's a holiday. Who wants a schedule? B. You plan out a few key things, but it's mostly played by ear. C. You can go either way. Depends on the situation where you're going, etc. D. Having a few things left open is fun, but for the most part, you like to plan it. E. Thoroughly planning. Hard to relax unless most things are considered in advance.
Okay. There is not an option here for what I would do.
Well, what do you normally like to do?
Okay, I don't take holidays first off,
I
but
mean, if you do,
even
though.
though I can't say that I do have a small holiday vacation thing next month, but I'm not planning any of it. That's the other person that's doing all the planning. I'm just going along with it.
Yeah, but like if you were to take a vacation, let's say next week, what?
Ugh, not enough time.
Okay, how about in September? Let's say.
Okay, I can work with that.
Let's say, yeah. Let's say you're planning a vacation September for a week, and
Okay.
you're going to, I don't know, either to like a European country or like to Canada or like another United States, like to state park or something.
Too far. But okay.
Yeah, I like basically just.
Yeah, I guess
maybe,
then
like,
it would
you're
kind of depend on the situation.
Yeah.
European country, you mean France? I mean, I was
France,
supposed to go to
Spain,
Germany once,
England,
but
Poland, Russia, China, technically Eurasia. There's also African country. To be fair, there's a lot of African countries. I barely know any of them. I'm
Surprisingly, the place in Germany I was supposed to go to wasn't even all that far from France. Maybe like an hour or two, but yeah.
A friend of yours and someone you don't know are caught up in a heated argument. They ask you to help facilitate. You want to support your friend, but after hearing both sides, you actually agree with a stranger. How do you choose who to support? A. You support your friend all the way. Friendship is more important than the truth. B. You highlight anything about your friend's side that you do agree with and tactfully don't mention the rest. C. You look for a neutral angle that supports both sides in different ways. D. You delicately disagree with your friend while doing everything you can show your support with them. E. You fully side with the stranger. The truth is important, even if it risks hurting friendships.
Oh god, I'm getting called out for answering this one. Oh boy. See, I stick to the neutral, no matter what.
Very teal blood of you.
Shut up. Shut up.
You have a very important message to write over email or some other text communication method, and sensitive matter difficult to compose, possibly an emotional or confrontational nature. When you're done writing, you're about to hit send. What's next? A. You click immediately, better to get it over with and done quickly. B. Not just yet, you give it one more read and change a couple things, then send away. C. After giving it another read, you decide to take some time and come back to it later with fresh eyes. Maybe have a friend read it too before sending. D. You save the draft and decide to sleep on it. When you look at it again, you might have a second thoughts about sending or might rewrite it altogether. Or D. E. You save a draft to revisit later, but when you do, you start to antagonize. Maybe rewrite it once or twice, but doubts continue to creep. Past experience tells you there's a decent chance you may never send it.
E. E. Very much E. Also, curse you for that one, Dinah. You almost made me choke. I literally just started drinking when you sent that.
Yeah, and very honestly, the only reason why I know a bit about the zodiac signs is because I have my Discord bot works with the zodiac signs. Plus, kind of into tarot, which that one sheep forever ago that I was doing tarot card stuff. So
Yes. Yep. Okay.
so then you press submit once you've made your final choice, and this will tell you your moon. Ooh, your Durs, which is the opposite moon of me, actually.
Huh. Rational thought and calculation. They tend to know themselves far better than they know the world. That's a lie. I don't know anything about myself. Finding it difficult to live in the moment. Okay, that's true. Learn more about what it means to be zero when you see the final results. And you need to determine your aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, so the aspect is
I went
there's
that
two.
I went that
Basically,
way.
the aspect there's two different versions of each one: active and passive, and it depends on your moon's sway. And yeah,
Okay.
and then technically there's a class associated with each thing, which give me a second. Homestuck classes. So yeah, because there's 12 different classes, which there's the Knight Page, Maid Heir, Mage and Seer, Prince Bard, Thief Rogue, Witch Sylph, and then the math classes Lord and Muse.
Okay.
Which so this quiz won't actually give you your specific class, just because you only see a handful of them in the actual comic and a couple of the games, so like you don't really get too much about them.
Okay.
And there's 12 total, again, active versus passive, based off your moon sign and everything else. And there's a lot of theories that some classes are gender or like gender identity specific, but again, based off of interpretation of what we've seen in the comic. And I can go more into details about them later.
Okay. Okay.
Anyways, question one about your aspects. So think about your life as if it's a story and you're the main protagonist, which
Barf. Barf.
everyone's a protagonist of their main story. Do you
Ew.
tend to view yourself as a lone hero who's along the way meets other supporting characters, who only have a tangential relationship to your personal journey, or do you view yourself as just one hero in an ever shifting ensemble of important protagonists? A. Lone hero all the way. B. Often lone hero, not always. C. Either one, can't say for sure. D. Often part of an ensemble, not always. E. Part of an ensemble all the way. So it's basically like the extreme, sort of, and then neutral.
Mm, I mean, it's not exactly neutral, but it's also not exactly middle ground of
So you'd want to
both,
answer B or D then, depending
pretty
on.
much. Oh, I gotta think of this, because I mean, like, thinking way back when, um, often part of one, then eventually loner for quite a while, often lone, then loner again, often lone. This is hard. This one's
Yeah,
actually genuinely hard.
yeah. All of these, there's actually 12 questions for
Oh,
this
lovely.
one,
Beautiful.
just because of the fact that there's 12 aspects, so you gotta
Okay, that's
answer.
fair. Um, mm, you know what? Thinking about it more, I'm gonna say often part of one because I have been hanging out with people a lot more lately than I have ever in like 6 years. We'll go with 6 years, something like that. I don't fully remember, but a while.
So, question 2. When you want to help people accomplish something and they don't know what they're doing, are you inclined to show them how to do it, or are you inclined to make them feel motivated and inspired to do it? A and B are definitely show them or lean toward showing them. C, neutral. D and E are associated leaning toward and definitely motivating them.
People accomplish something they don't know what they're doing. But these ones are good. I can feel like the grasp of these questions, just hold of the quarter brain cell and just going, tell us the answer. Um,
I feel like you would have fun with the random questionnaire things that exist.
I've done a few of them,
Well, I
mainly.
have all of them, so
Wait, wait.
we
Okay,
could we
I
could
might not be
we
thinking
could
of the same thing then. Just like
um
find a random questionnaire online and would just do those and be like, okay, yep.
let me just say a couple for example. Give me a second.
Okay, I'll think of this while you do that.
Yeah.
Um,
So this is things like the confession, the um horoscope and horoscope fatal awakening, the journey
mm,
episode 1 and 2. There is where's the next one? The Secret of the Dark Woods. Uh, there is the Summoning, Survival of Threat, Survivor Dieland, the Test Final Revelation, the Test Hypothesis Rising, the Test Reality Check, the Test Secret of the Soul 1 and 2, the Testing Chamber, the Twins,
okay, definitely
and
not done any of those.
hey, and then there's the Zombie Apocalypse Survival Simulator.
Yep, I've not done any of those. I thought you literally meant just go online and look up a random
No,
test
hey,
similar
hey,
to this.
maybe at some point we can play them together or
Oh
something.
god. Oh dear.
I've done it myself on my channel.
Yeah.
Uh,
Usually with trying to help people accomplish stuff, they tell me what they want to accomplish, and majority of the time I'm sitting there like, yeah, I don't know how to do that. I would definitely motivate them. Though I try to IQ test. Shut up. Shut up.
I mean, there's that
Shut
one
up.
test game that has like 200 questions or whatever.
What?
You remember like the one? Is it 100 questions where it's
What?
like the hardest test, the impossible quiz or something?
Eh?
Oh, that's gonna be a fun quiz.
No. No, I don't I don't want to do an IQ test. We don't need to
No,
see
it's not. It's
IQ of
not the
7.
IQ twist. It's a video game.
Impossible quiz. That sounds a little familiar, but at the same time it doesn't.
There goes.
Oh no. You sent it to me, didn't you?
You can look into it later.
Okay. I will look into that later on then.
Yeah. Anyways, so for question 3, when you are learning about a new subject or reading a fascinating story, do you feel a strong desire to know everything about it and have your questions answered, or are you more compelled or inspired by the feelings of the mysteries surrounding not knowing everything? A and B are, hey, you're curious and drawn to knowing and want to learn everything. D and E are fine with not knowing everything. C is can't decide.
I wonder why, Ray. Maybe because I have the music playing? Because, yes, because I got that vibe from it too. Learning something new. It depends. Because a lot of the times to do things, I'm just like, whatever. But then other times with other new things, I'm like, it can catch on. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of examples. Things that didn't catch on, because I can tell you the things I caught on, but not the stuff that didn't, because I already forgot that. I need specifics. Jeez.
Well, come up with the specifics in your own head then.
I'm not creative. I think you forgot.
Well, but the biggest thing about any of these questionnaires is just like with the test series, you basically like come up with a situation that makes the most sense to you and gets you to be like, okay, this is how I answer it. Like with the test series, it's like, oh, would you rather go to the beach or would you rather go to a mountain vacation? And it's just like, well, it depends, but like generally speaking, like during the winter I like to do this, but during the summer I like to do this, and but if I can only do one of the two, I'd rather go do this one. And yes, there are tests on the internet that to know what Pokemon you are. There's a lot of variation, and it's heavily determined by the the person making the quiz. But
Yeah.
at least with this, this is actually made by the original creator or like people working with Homestuck, so it's pretty official.
I'm okay with not having all the answers, I guess. But even if I took a quiz, I don't need to. I know what Pokemon I am. I'm a freaking Zorua Zoroark. There's many faces behind this. You will never get to meet them all, and I'm just a maker of illusions. Because you don't know what's real and what's fake with me.
I don't think you're a Zora.
Okay, if you say so. We'll see about that one later down the line.
Definitely later down the line.
Sure,
But yeah, anyways, question 4. When you hear someone explain something to someone else in a way that's questionable, or in a way that makes you suspect they don't fully understand the subject they're explaining, are you more inclined to teach them everything you know about the subject to set the record straight, or just cast down the misinformation without offering too much of way of correction? A and B is providing corrections, the level degree based on confidence level. D and E being more on the line of casting doubts. C being neutral.
I mean, yeah, I'd provide a correction or two. I'm not gonna get carried away on the whole thing, because, I mean, if you're saying something wrong, I'll just be like, I'm not gonna just sit there Be like, move over. Time for somebody that actually knows what they're doing to say something, because that's not ever happening. I'll
If you
say,
could choose,
just
yeah,
peek in. Questions.
basically how these questions are is A is do you definitely do this one thing? Do you kind of do this one thing? C is neutral. D is do you kind of do the other thing? And E is do you definitely do the other thing? Yeah, question 5. If you could choose one ability, which would it be? The ability to travel to any period in history on Earth at all, past or at will, past or future, or the ability to safely travel, such as a nice ship, anywhere in the universe at will instantly. And basically, it's like A and B lean towards time travel, D and E leaning towards space travel, and C is neutral.
I mean, okay, the voids of space are cool, but what would I even want to go see back in time? Besides, like, dinosaurs or, like, castles. Maybe find out if there truly were dragons or something. Who knows? But you could literally just go to space, get lost into the void. Ooh, that sounds nice, actually.
From the void to the void we go. Da 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 da.
I'm gonna go with D. Final question before we go. Cycle goes up and be able to go to Dark House. You don't need to go. It's time travel.
Yeah, I mean, time travel's always fun.
How are you gonna time travel to my house when you don't even know where that is? And the question is, which of the 4?
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
one?
yeah.
Riddle me that, Batman.
Hey, how do you know I don't have any pets?
Bark, bark.
I mean, I don't have a dog, but
Squeak, squeak.
You certainly don't know.
No. And I'm fine without knowing.
Yeah. So anyways, question 6. If you're working on a project, something you're doing for yourself and not anyone else. I don't have a dog or cat. I could have a fish. Could have a hamster. Could have a rabbit. Could have an ostrich. Could have a bird.
Luna's got the one little mouse inside your wall that just will occasionally you'll just hear like.
I mean, between last time and this time, I could certainly have a pet. You don't know.
Yeah, you got a cat.
No, I don't have a pet though.
Wow! Wow! This whole shtick of setting it all up, just be like, yeah, I don't. You're right. I'm kidding. Wow.
I don't have the time or the energy to take care of a pet.
Me neither. So... Yeah, here we are.
Here we are. Woo. Anyways, question 6. If you're working on a project, something you're doing for yourself, not for anyone else, now, are you obsessively focused on the end result of the project, or are you enjoying the process regardless how it turns out? A and B are results are very important. C is neutral. D and E are about enjoying the process.
You know, as someone who's literally sitting here doing streaming, I think it's kind of showing. just. Not knowing how to edit kind of. That puts a dampener in it. Hang on a second. Geez, don't go dying. That's my joke. I guess D, enjoying the process mainly, but would also like to feel worthwhile at the end. Because, I mean, again, I don't know editing, so...
Yeah, I'm not that good of an editor. I do some minor editing, but not crazy amounts.
I also don't have the time for it, so, I barely am fitting in streaming, as you guys can see. So, oops,
Oopsie daisy.
oops. That one's on me. At
Hey,
work.
you can always hire an editor.
You think I have the money for that? Please.
No, I mean like hire a friend.
You think I have the time for that and the money for it? As if.
I mean, like, I've hired one of my friends to like be my editor whenever they have time, and be like, hey, I'll pay with like a reasonable amount. Like, hey, here's my max budget of like what I'm willing to do,
Sure,
and
Dinah. Yeah, you'll give justice. You're gonna put cat ears on me the whole time. Not happening. And you'll also stick a bush next to me, won't you? Yeah, I know you. Not happening.
Yeah. Anyways,
I don't know.
question 7. Which option best describes what's most important to you? Understanding yourself and fully knowing who you are, or thinking rationally and making strong decisions? A and B are leaning toward understanding yourself, D and E focusing on thinking rationally, while C is kind of neutral.
I can't really decide. I don't know anything really about myself, and what's thinking rationally?
And these questions are the it basically help you determine what each of the aspects are. Which, if you're taking this quiz, it exists in the actual thing of lore and whatnot. So it's like it's basically trying to associate with each of the things. So
I'm just saying. I know nothing about myself, and I do not think rationally. Brain, my brain has its moments, I guess, where it thinks rationally. It can be surprising, but otherwise. 1 plus 1 equals 2, at least from my understanding. That's fit. No, 1 plus 1 equals window. I don't know what you're talking about.
no, 1 plus 1 equals 11.
No, it equals window.
I also say it equals window at some point too. But like I also like doing 11.
That's fair. I think
Again,
we've broken
again,
Dinah.
if you guys couldn't tell, this is a joke. 1 plus
Who's
1
joking?
obviously this is like 1 plus 1 obviously equals 2.
Who's choking?
Rah rah.
No.
Anyways, question number 8. What idea is more interesting to you? The ability to fully understand your potential as a person, or the ability to fully understand all potential consequences of your actions before taking them? So A and B focusing on your potential as a person, while D and E focusing on the consequences of your action. C is both are equally desirable.
Personally, I don't care about the consequences of my actions. It's gonna happen no matter what. It's just better to get it over with sooner rather than later. I would much rather. I kind of want to know personal potential, if anything, to see maybe, just maybe, that what I'm good at. Today, January 14th, I learned the truth. 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2. It's much worse than that.
Question 9. Which better describes your attitude? Having great conviction in certain beliefs or ideas you're attached to, or casting strong down beliefs or ideas you dislike? A and B focusing on conviction toward your own beliefs, or D and E focusing on casting doubt. C is you can't decide.
Should, I'm gonna embarrass myself with this one. What's conviction again? I'm being full serious. What's conviction again?
Convictions is like. Let me just pull up the dictionary definition so I can.
Please. Brain is having a big brain fart at the moment on conviction.
Okay, so it's a noun.
No,
A
really.
formal declaration that someone is guilty of a criminal offense made by a verdict of a jury or the decision of a judge in a court of law, similar to sentence or judgment. The second definition is a firmly held belief or opinion, opinion, view, thought, persuasion, etc. The quality of showing that one is firmly convinced of what one believes or says.
Okay, that kind of helps. Only
Yeah,
kind of.
basically in this case, it is your belief of an opinion, so or like your thoughts.
Oh, I hate those. But I do not like casting doubt. I guess a little more attracted to having convictions and beliefs. Because I don't want to cast doubt. I hate doing that. Unless it's a joke, then it's funny. But if I'm actually casting doubt, no. I don't want to.
What do you mean you don't
I
wanna?
don't want to cast doubt.
What do you mean you don't want to cast doubt?
I don't want to cast doubt. I don't have that in my spell book. And even if I did, I'd roll a nat 1 and cast conviction.
Of course.
Hey, you walked into that one.
Yeah. Anyways, question 10. When circumstances are intolerably bad, what are you more inclined to do? Come up with the best alternatives or solutions and work as hard as you can to make those happen instead? Or don't worry about the better alternative, burn it all down, and whatever follows you just deal with it as it comes? A and B are you're looking for a better solution. D and D is trying to get out of the bad situation as fast as possible and basically burning it all down.
Burn
C
it
is
down.
neutral.
Burn it down. Burn it all down. I don't care about the consequences. That's a future me problem, not a me problem.
Why is that such a mood, though?
And then future me comes around and is like, uh-oh. God damn it. This stream would have tried twice to troll you, but ended up trolling.
How did how's twice trolling?
I don't remember of once.
Anyways, question 11. If you see someone suffering, are you most inclined to do whatever it can to help them get better, or your instinct is to relate to their suffering, to empathize without necessarily considering how you can help? A and B is doing whatever you can to help them. D and E is empathizing with them. C is not sure how to react.
B. Focus mostly on helping, but wouldn't be able to stop myself from relating to the problem with someone. That. Yeah. No, yeah. Just, yeah. That's all I have to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Question 12, the final question of this section. When someone suffers a misfortune so terrible you know there's nothing anyone can do for them, are you most inclined to feel horrible that nothing can be done, or feel resigned to the sense that this is the way of the world and some things just can't be helped? A and B focuses feel bad that there's nothing that can be done. D and E focus feeling resigned. C being neutral.
D. Just D.
Okay.
All
And
right.
then we permit.
Ha! I was joking when I said I want blood, but okay, I'll take blood.
Yeah, so you can read that out loud for your audience if you so choose.
I might as well. The blood-bound strength lies in bonds. Their prophets, leading by inspiration, motivation. Okay, that's clearly wrong. Charismatic and magnetic. They're usually to be found surrounded by friends and allies who share their visions. I lost my place in the reading for a second there. Shush. You'll learn more about what it means to be bloodbound when you see the final results. So the site really worked. Kinda. I'm just a prophet. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Ha! I guess it does work. I was joking. Wait a minute. I'm a prophet because I said I want the blood. And we have This does work. Hang on a minute. Let's see now. I am Lycan.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Lycan is the pronunciation of that.
I'm a werewolf.
So yeah, basically the Lycan teal blood is determined by the time you were born. The Durst and blood sign determines what symbol you get.
Okay.
So yeah.
If your true sign is like you possess a unique combination of qualities held by them, and them. Sign class. signs are natural charm. That's a lie. Social flirtatious. Wrong. They're great at parties and public speaking. No. Parties, no. Public speaking event? Well, you know, streaming is technically a public speaking event. So, maybe. And even that's debatable. Even though they aren't afraid to use their many engaging qualities in both personal and business ventures. They have a strong moral sense. Wrong. Right
I
and
think
wrong.
you have a pretty good strong.
Right and wrong are very obvious. Yeah. But it can frustrate them that others don't see the world the same way you do. Yes. Their idealism can make them strong defenders of justice. Yes. But it can also result in them being incredibly let down. Yes. Yes. Their strict adherence to procedure can lead to errors in judgment. Yes. They can be okay. Okay, now you're just calling me out. Yes. Yes and yes. They have vibrant imagination. Not anymore. And enjoy fiction and roleplay. Yes and yes. And often those games will resemble the lives they want to be living. Yes! Deep down, they often long for a hero, someone they can idolize. Yes! This smarts and charisma to keep up with them. Unfortunately, oh no, they have a tendency to get involved with people who are very obviously wrong for them out of the desire not to be a yes. These signs are better off being single, at least till somebody really extraordinary. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. I'm being called out so bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. Gods tell you that flirting is your thing. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how to flirt. I have proven this many times. You want me to go roll a D20? I'll do it. Don't make me pull it out. I will grab the D20 and roll it and get a 1 on my flirtation skills. Let's go. Oh, we're doing this? Okay, let's do this. Let's do this then. Where's my dice? Where's my dice? There they are. Now, where's my roller? Hold on. It's in front of my face. I'm an idiot. Shush. I have dice. I have my roller. What? Why did that just go down? I was not done reading. You have dice online too. Shh. I'd rather roll real dice. More satisfying. No, no. Where's my D20? Where's my D20? That the D20? No, that's a D10. That's a D20 right here. Got it. You want to see it? Fine. You can see it. Let there be light. That was delayed so much. We're going full screen too, because why the hell not? We're doing this. This is a bit. Me lie about what I roll? You're funny. Dice roller right here. Cute little coffin thing. D20. Yes, actual D20. Put it in here. We close. We lock. And the moment of truth. But what the hell? How do I get this angle? Actually, I could just easily lift it up and kind of show you guys what it's on. It was on. This is a shocking high roll for me. It was a 12. I know it says 21, but it's a 12.
Slightly higher than average.
That's my highest roll yet. I don't know what you're talking about. Slightly higher.
Well, on average, the roll on a D20 is 10.5.
Mine are more of a 1 through 7.
Eh.
You underestimate. You're funny. Me this is a fluke, and I'll prove it now. I will literally. Too late. This was a fluke. This has become a roll.
We're sidetracking.
Shush. I will go back to it real quick.
Yeah,
that's a 5. That's a 5. I rest my case.
We're sidetracking. Get back on the.
I'm
get
going. I'm going. I rest my case though. I don't flirt. Now, Lunar Sway, I'll just leave the light on at this point. Their streamers have personalities marked by a distinct and restless skepticism. Whatever their waking circumstances, chances are they will live in a state of dissatisfaction. Ouch. Yes. 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 Rebellions in their blood, manifesting whether they are fighting back against a fascist dictatorship. I've done that in a game. Yes. Or the most recent trend in casual footwear. No! Their streamers are cerebral and self-aware. They have a far better grasp on the landscape of their own minds than on the world around them. I guess you could say yes, but also no, because there's nothing in the mind to grasp, but I know less about the world, which they can find alienating and confusing. But as so much of their identity is built on control, they will do their utmost to hide any insecurity. No. No, I'm very open about my insecurities. Alchemist's false humility or self-deprecating. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Never mind. Never. Shush. Be quiet, you. Be quiet, you. Be quiet, you.
I think you just proved our point.
Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. I know me better than you.
I think we're just proving our point.
No, you're not.
Yes.
There's no point to prove. They may be inflexible and pessimistic, whatever that word means.
It's like basically negatively. It's like the opposite of optimism. Basically, you always think negatively about the world.
Shut up. No. But they're also great problem solvers, facing conflicts head-on with shrewd, calculated mind. Sure. They see one's true path among an infinite snarl of wrong ones. Tend to be introvert. Shut up. But if you win their trust, their streamers are an extremely powerful ally. As if. Oh, shush! You're not a part of this.
Looking to you, powerful ally.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm neither powerful.
Says the person who maxes out strength and are leveling up in Minecraft.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's no. That's Lucius, not me. However, they find sincere vulnerability difficult and will often keep people at arm's length. Letting go and living in the moment is hard. Yeah, they constantly look towards the future and analyze the yeah. Now the blood thing. Those bound to the aspect of draw their strength from bonds, from the trust and camaraderie that blooms among a group of people who all share a single vision. Maybe. Bloodbound are absolutely leader. Nope. But they inhabit more of an inspirational role than a commanding role. Nope. They're prophets, as we have already proven, apparently, yes. Rather than generals, giving others the strength and motivation to keep fighting. Okay, yeah. Bloodbound can dispense excellent advice, even when their own lives and interpersonal relationships are disaster. Okay. Really? But thanks. True. They can be very do as I say, not as I do type. Yes. Yes. Bloodbound got to be found on a sinking ship, forcing an endeavor forward with sheer stubborn force of will. No matter how bad things go, a Bloodbound can always count on friends and out. Debatable. At their best, they're charismatic. Nope. Uplifting and magnetic. Maybe. At the worst, they could be sullen, unkind, and set in their way. Maybe. Just maybe. This is
surprisingly fairly accurate.
Yeah. It's got a few things where I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing with like personality quizzes and stuff, where it's like, generally speaking, they tend to be fairly broad, but it's pretty interesting. So
I'll shockingly give this an 80% accurate.
Yeah. The funny thing is, when I took this, I'm not going to reveal my blood sign, just because I don't want to reveal how old I am.
Yeah.
But my lunar sway was Prospect. Prosper dreamers are intuitive, flexible, and accepting. They tend to live in the moment and are able to adapt to situations as needed, prefer to solve problems with creativity rather than cold logic. You'll learn more about that when you see the final results. And the full thing was saying, marked with by a flexible optimism, the personality of prosper dreamers are reactive and intuitive. They naturally exist in the present rather than look to the future or obsess about the past. Making decisions, prosper dreamers tend to rely on gut instincts and whatever emotions they're experiencing at the moment. This makes them quick to act and reliable in a crisis, but can actually make them capricious, which, if you don't know what that means, I will read out the definition for that.
I've learned
It
that one
means,
in words. Oh no.
yeah, given to a sudden and unaccountable change of mood or behavior. They have trouble thinking things through, and their feelings towards specific situations and decisions can change from day to day. They solve problems with creativity rather than cold logic, often seeing multiple options with
Two,
ease and
three.
clarity.
Ooh.
Because they generally take things as they come, prospect dreamers are less rebellious than they are adaptable instead of struggling against authority. They'll find a way to coexist with it. Po- Possibly because they're so instinctively inflexible, they like having a defined sense of rules and safety net for their passionate lives. Naturally trusting, they have trouble with deception and hiding their true selves, and will often worry about what others think of them. The self they project into the world, is often not under their control. And overall, I do think that is fairly accurate for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the main thing I don't think naturally works well is I sometimes do obsess about the future and just obsess over the past, but it just
Yeah.
depends on day to day.
Yeah.
And my aspect, at least when I took this, was the aspect of hope. The hope bound is a deep conviction in or are quick to aid those in need. They desire to change for the better and will put their substantial imaginations to use to dream up of a better future. And then the full result is those bound to the aspect of hope are driven by first and foremost by their convictions. They do right for right's sake and are quick to come to the aid for anyone they deem to be experienced injustice. That said, their views of the war can be quite black and white, so they see as the right thing may not always be universally accepted. They can put great value in the power of imagination and the ability to dream up a better and more beautiful future. If anyone could dream up of a better world into existence, it would be the hope bound. They might sound of all sunshine and rainbows, but they are diverse to a little destruction, especially if they think they can replace it with something better and more just. At their best, hope-bound are positive, caring, and warm. At their worst, they can be narrow-minded and selfish.
Hmm. Okay. I can kind of see those.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. My,
how is
today's day and
this?
age, I feel like I have a just slightly different sign, but like when I took this, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Ugh. Ow. Claws. Ow.
So,
Back to what you were saying, right? Ow. Before I get stabbed more.
eh,
Oh. Now, I don't trust stream viewers fully, entirely. People who are here more often than not, maybe a little more. This. Ugh. God dang, I'm gonna change my shirt now.
you can deal with it later.
I think you forgot I'm allergic to cat fur.
You'll be fine.
Okay, that's you.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately,
yeah,
for at least the specific class you would be, uh, it's hard to say. So,
yeah.
let me kind of like talk over some of the different classes at the very least. So there is 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 total classes.
Mm-hmm.
7 that are active, 7 that are passive. The active classes tend to affect their aspect, manipulate it directly, and do so for their own personal gain, while passive classes tend to be affected by their aspect, manipulated indirectly, and do so for the benefit of others. So, kind of in short, active tends to be direct and selfish, whereas passive classes tend to be indirect and altruistic. So, the again, and some of the things based off of what people are uh, theorized for. Lord is the most active. Lord, Witch, Prince, Thief, Knight, Mage, and Self are the order of most active to least active. From the most passive to the least passive is Muse, Heir, Bard, Rogue, Page, Seer, and Maid.
Hmm.
And yeah, the based off what the author Hussey says,
Hmm.
um, the handful of activities is based off of multiple factors. Their class and what dreamer they are two of the biggest factors as well.
Okay.
And of course, um, again, that it's not really talked about too much. There in the law, and as I mentioned before, there are a few theories that are theorized to be either gender specific or gender favored.
Okay.
Um, at least in terms of gender specific, Bard, Prince, and Lord are tend to be men favored, and the Muse tends to be actually Bard, Prince, and Lord are tend to be men exclusive, while the Muse is woman exclusive. And the
Hmm.
Thief and Rogue tend to be woman favored. Of course, this is implied that she's trustworthy. Hard to say. Um, and if taken at a word, that there should be at least two women exclusive, more exclusive classes, um, and two men slanted classes, um, which people have theorized that between the self, maid, and witch are tend to be women. Are theorized to be of the three, two of them tend to be women exclusive, while men slanted classes, knight, page, seer, mage, and heir, tend to be theorized to be men slanted. Of course, theorized.
Hmm.
And there is the possibility of making female characters prince and making female, basically making men exclusive female and vice versa, but uh, generally speaking, that it's theorized that they tend to favor this one exclusive to this one specific gender identity.
Okay.
Um, and I see you put your links to what your true sign is and all that.
That was an accident on that one.
Yeah.
But then it was asking
So
for the link to a website, so yeah.
yeah. So at least with the knight and page, are the obviously active and passive respectively, paired together by Hussey. There's a couple known examples, and they're both they're one of the two of the few classes that are discussed both in the canon and supplementary canon, and are two of the classes that people consider to be the most about, and their role is kind of the one who serves,
Okay.
and basically with the like one who serves and one who wields. So basically for interpretations, um that yeah, like there's some like additional like things of like what that means specifically, but
Hmm.
it's basically like, hey, I serve to try and protect you, I serve to try and do this additional thing. um Maid and Heir are paired by Hussey, again, the writer, both
Hmm.
rated as passive +1 and +6 respectively, um, placing Maid as the active class. There is some classes that are maids and heirs that are respective. Um, they're the paired Shiro is not canonly known, but uh, based on just things, they receive a lot of the story focus.
Hmm.
So, for example, with Jane Crocker and John Egbert are the two main characters, like basically are the counterpoints in the their kind counterpoints in pre-strike and post-strike,
Okay.
and basically their role is the one who believes to have stuff happen, like one who believes, one who gives,
Okay.
like a little bit of like one who protects as well. Basically, they are kind of like, hey, we are here to support you in kind of a sense.
Hmm. Okay.
Mage and Seer are counterpoints to each other, Mage being the active, while Seer being the passive. Um, couple known mages and seers, and they are generally considered to be the one who understands and basically provides knowledge to the others.
Hmm.
The Prince and Bard are the active and passive of each other, and again, a couple people are associated with each other, and basically, and this is one of the two class pairings that are canonically known. Basically, these other classes are the ones that are known for one who destroys, while the
Oh.
prince is actively destroying, while the bard is indirectly destroying through their um, aspects.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, and typically they're the ones that are responsible for the party's downfall or improbable victory, or both.
Hmm. I think we found mine.
Again, it's depends. Um, let's see here. Let me actually re-look up your true sign symbol again.
I
Yeah,
could
you're not
just.
actually. No, because it's just like you're not of in Hive Swap and Homestuck and of the other games. You're actually one of the symbols that doesn't actually exist. Like, it's not represented by any of the classics.
Oh,
So
I thought you were. I was about to say, "Whoo! I don't exist. Let's go."
yeah, my symbol, which I'm not going to say who, is actually represented in Hive Swap, Homestuck, and one of the various other canon games.
Hmm.
So
Okay. I'm a
the
nobody.
yeah, the thief and the rogue are the active and passive respectively, and they are the one who steals. Basically, they steal whatever their aspect is, generally speaking. So,
Hmm.
like for example, if you're the thief of the void, you can steal something from nothing, which is kind of interesting.
Okay.
The witch and the sylph are counterpoints, similar to how the other one was the what was it, the maid and heir were both passive classes. The witch and sylph are both active classes, one being six and one being -6, while the other being -1 respectively.
Okay.
There's paired share roles not canonly known and can discuss about the roles as relatively sparse. Um, but from the general understanding is the one who creates,
Hmm.
generally speaking. So based off of the different things, and the last classes are the master classes, which is the Lord and the Muse. They are the most significantly more powerful and the most active and passive, respectively. And there's a lot of speculation about what they do, and the only two that are known are correlated with the cherubs, where the evil cherub is the Lord of Time, while
Mm-hmm.
which is the active class, while the good one is the Muse of Space, which is the passive one. And yeah, and there's nothing to like. And since there's only one role of each, there's not really much to cross-reference to the other characters based off of quirks and based off the character versus the actual class.
Okay.
So, again, this is just fan theorizing and stuff, and the theorizing as of right now are based off of one who rules.
Mm-hmm.
So Again, which does make quite a bit of sense, since in the Homestuck thing, the good one, Calliope, the Muse of Space, rules over space, the like kind of anti-void space, kind of like in a very passive way, and
Yeah.
is just kind of there. While Caliborn, the Lord of Time, is kind of the biggest thing that kicks off the whole story in the very beginning,
Hmm.
and a whole thing about everything that happens in time shenanigans and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And there's a few other theories that there could be an argument for the purpose of the Lord Luz being one who opposes. But that is the interpretation of being Caliborn and Calliope's natures being two halves of the same cherub asserting itself. So, hard to say specifically.
Okay. Yes, Diana, I am still here. I was just stretching and shutting off the light.
Yeah.
Interesting. Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah, that's kind of just a Homestuck as a whole.
That is so much to take in, to be honest.
Which, honestly, fair, because that's.
Brain just.
Hi. That's cute,
Yes, I
Winter.
heard your sparkle, Winter. Don't worry, I did acknowledge it. I mean, I did. Bleh, bleh. I heard it. I didn't acknowledge it. English, no good. Again. Ugh. The ice cream might be kicking in finally.
Well, does the audience have any questions about a Homestuck in general?
They probably do.
Yeah. Which, again, I am just a casual viewer, so but I definitely have more knowledge than Dots, so.
Yeah. Been in and out, you know enough. Fair.
Yeah, but yeah. Obviously, if you guys are part of either of our Discords, you can certainly ask more questions as well, and
Yes.
I'm sure I'll be able to answer the question whenever I get around to it as well.
Luna will answer. I'll be shying away into the corner. Just, oh no. Oh dear. No. I don't
Yeah,
know
I have
any of
not
this.
read any of the really any of the post canon of Homestuck, so there's definitely I can't really talk too much about that.
Fair. Fair. Mm, but I guess if there isn't any, I will go ahead and end the recording.
Yeah, yes, and at some point, I can certainly share my screen at a future time if to play Friend Sim, a Hive Swap, or any of those other games at a future date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, that's that. You guys now know my symbol. You know me as a, I guess, as both in that lore and as an actual person, too, because of how oddly accurate it is. Which is, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I think overall, based on the persona you present, at the very least,
One of the many
does
faces.
yes, one of the many faces does feel fairly accurate.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you all for joining me. I will see you on next video. Bye-bye!